The truth about Spotify losing millions. Music icon Neil Young chastised Spotify for allowing comedian Joe Rogan to use its platform to spread misinformation about the COVID vaccine on his famed podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience. Leading the company's stock to plummet by $4 billion. Hello everyone and welcome to another video on our channel. In today's video, we're going to discuss the truth about Spotify losing millions. Now let's start our video. According to NASDAQ data, as of the close of trade on Friday, January 28, Spotify shares were down nearly 12% from where they were the previous week. In comparison, the broader index remained flat during the same period. The hashtags #DeleteSpotify and #CancelSpotify have trended on social media, and several websites provide through directions on how to delete the Spotify app. On Wednesday, January 26th, 2 days after giving an ultimatum to Spotify via his management and record label, they can have Rogan or Young. Spotify pulled all of Young's songs virtually, one or the other, but not both. Last month's incident began when Dr. Robert Malone appeared on Rogan's show. Despite being banned from Twitter for spreading misleading information, Malone has become an anti-vaccine activist. He was elevated to this position after falsely alleging that millions of people had been hypnotized into believing vaccines prevent serious diseases. Spotify has suddenly become a very damaging force because of its public ignorance and misinformation about COVID, Young wrote in a message published on his website on Wednesday. Most of the listeners hearing the untrue, fraudulent, and erroneous COVID material on Spotify are 24 years old, impressionable, and easily led to the wrong side of the truth, according to the report. Some well-known medical professionals have joined forces to circulate an online petition urging that Spotify take action to reduce the spread of incorrect information. Spotify has removed around 20,000 podcast episodes related to COVID-19 since the epidemic began, according to a statement released last week. However, for the time being, the firm is supporting Rogan, who reportedly received more than $100 million from the site. In exchange for exclusive rights to his podcast. While Young draws 6 million viewers per month, Rogan draws 11 million viewers per show. Young added a follow-up post on his website in which he said that the purpose of his protest was not to prevent the podcast host from speaking. To set the record straight, I believe in the value of the free expression. I've never supported curbing people's rights to speak their minds. Young asserted that just as a private company has the right to choose how to make money, so does he have the right to determine whether or not his music would be used to promote a website that conveys false or harmful information. To the brave medical professionals who put their own lives on the line every day to save the lives of others, I say thank you. If you're liking this content so far, please consider subscribing and liking the video. Now let's continue. It was made clear that listeners will still be able to access his music through streaming services such as Amazon Music, Apple Music, and Qobuz, but the quality of the music will be better. Young observed, "I sound better elsewhere than I do here." It had been almost 4 decades since Young lived at his ranch in Woodside, which is located in the Santa Cruz Mountains, before he moved in 2014 to the property in the Malibu Hills owned by his wife, the actress Daryl Hannah.
Can you stop right here, Daryl? Daryl, just right in front of me, please, Daryl.
Over 30 years, he and his late wife Peggy hosted the All-Star Acoustic Bridge School benefit concerts at Mountain View's Shoreline Amphitheater. These concerts featured performances by dozens of well-known musicians, including Paul McCartney, Bob Dylan, David Bowie, Brian Wilson, Tracy Chapman, Bruce Springsteen, Norah Jones, Metallica, and Elvis Costello. In his book, Waging Heavy Peace, published in 2012, Young describes his time spent in the Sick Children's Hospital in Toronto after being diagnosed with polio in 1951. This was 4 years before the vaccination against the potentially fatal disease was made available. The event not only required him to train himself to walk, but also left him with a permanent limp and required him to carry out his duties while wearing a back brace consistently. The musician's memoirs reveal that he also had type 1 diabetes in addition to seizures. His daughter with Peggy, Amber Jean, also had epilepsy throughout her life. Young needed immediate medical attention after experiencing a brain aneurysm in 2006. After the occurrence, the singer was quoted as saying to the Chronicle, "I don't think that will stop me from doing what I do." The proceeds from the concerts were given to the school that he co-founded. His son Ben, who suffers from quadriplegia and cerebral palsy and is unable to talk, is a student at the institution he helped establish. His son Zeke likewise struggles with cerebral palsy to a great extent. That's all for today's video. Tell us in the comments section how this one was. I hope that you found this video interesting. You can subscribe and watch more videos on our channel to keep up with more content. We'll see you in the following video with some more notable celebrities, facts, and stories. And until then, stay tuned.